here is that once we create master data, the ideal situation is that an MDM system should feed everything. That is to say, changes could be done centrally, and we feed operational and analytical systems from it. However, getting to centralized data entry on master data rather than just centralized single system of record is a major challenge. I kind of like to view it as a popular TV game show, which is called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There are platforms, safety points, if you like, on that TV chat show, if any of you are familiar with it, that you can get to before you take the next leap. And the way I look upon it is, to some extent, is that getting to a single integrated centralized system of record is the first base. But once you've got to there, you can get to go forward on to gradually moving towards a single centralized data entry system, such that we can start to have one way to maintain that master data and synchronization across all of our operational and analytical systems. And so in that sense, we're at this point, I want to then look at, well, how does that benefit organizations with respect to things like that? Because we can see across the business, we can see across lines of business or across countries. We can understand supply and supply chain of those materials across our organization. That helps us to do, look at better discounting deals as a global business, for example, rather than running different deals with different suppliers through our local lines of business or in specific countries. And in addition to all of that, passing consistent master data into our analytical systems helps us to report more accurately and get a better management information for better decisions there too. So the ultimate, therefore, is that we have a number of benefits. And at this point, I just realized I should have pushed you one more question, if you would be kind enough to just ask that, which is, how would you rate your organization? Your organization's ability to see inventory for the same material across your organization. So if you're looking at, well, how much inventory do we have for a particular material across the inventory? Is it easy for you to see? Is it difficult? Or is it near on impossible? So if you'd be kind enough to respond to that particular question, I'd be most grateful. Okay, so I'm going to look at the results of this. So what we can see is over half of you difficult, some of you impossible, but it's a fairly even split there, but nevertheless, it indicates clearly from those of you on the call that there's a way to go for some of you in order to get this spaghetti ball unraveled. So thank you very much for participating in that. So yes, as I was saying, the benefits here are better planning, helps us to reduce our lead times, to get better processing power across the organization, purchasing power across the organization, and hopefully be able to reduce our inventory costs as a result of that, perhaps makes it more timely arrival of materials into our warehouses and therefore better inventory management or even get closer towards just-in-time inventory, and we reduce the number of out-of-stock kind of situations that we may currently be experiencing, which means that our business processes in operations, our manufacturing processes can run without any delays. That keeps product moving, it keeps orders on time, it keeps customers happy. And customer satisfaction in a tough economy is priceless. If you have that kind of ability to keep your customers satisfied, you're going to have loyal customers and repeat business throughout the longer term. It also means, by the way, that we can get improvement in meeting any demand forecasts, and so we can get closer to matching supply with demand. So, just taking stock of where we are in the call right now, just to finish off then. What about BI? How does it impact BI? Well, there's no question what it does is it actually simplifies and guarantees better decision making. And the reason for that is because rather than pulling master data from a variety of disparate ERP systems to just try and get a single view of material or a single view of supplier to use as a dimension in my data warehouse, I don't have to do that anymore. I can take clean, integrated, trusted master data from an MDM system as the source, and then I can combine that with transaction data and construct my analytical environment of dimensions and measures. So in the data warehousing world, we know of master data as a different name. We know of it. It's a vehicle towards simplification and getting towards common, consistent, joined up business. And so if you're looking at this, well, where do you go from here? And I think you really do need to understand your business processes. So business analysts are very important here. If we can understand our business processes, that helps us understand where master data is currently maintained and created. And it also helps us understand where master data is consumed, so we can look at which applications create it and maintain it, which applications consume it. It then allows us to be able to work out, well, where do we have to get that master data from to integrate it, consolidate it, and create a single system of record. And we can get to that first plateau in our journey towards simplification. By consolidating and cleaning that data, then we can put outbound synchronization of that master data to all operational BI systems that need to consume it. And then we can, at this point, we've got a system of record in place. We can then look at, okay, so if we want to get centrally maintained master data from here, then what has to change in order to allow us to do that? And then we can start to introduce a globalization change management program that starts to unravel all of that complexity that we saw in that spaghetti architecture and get us towards a leaner, meaner way of operating with improved processes and improved decision making and fewer instances of supplier data or materials data, fewer instances of our ERP systems, so that we can speed up our execution and be more timely in our operations and run at a reduced cost of operating. Okay, so that kind of completes my presentation at this point. I think probably at this point we're ready to look at some questions.
Thank you, Mike, for the valuable and enriching information.